Hello. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to this week's episode of Rescued by the Truth. Yeah. Actually, it's my very first time of going live on YouTube. It's my very first time of going live on YouTube, and trust me, you're going to have a good time tonight. Trust me, you're going to have a good time tonight. I remain your host, Queen Jane. I remain your host, Queen Jane. Now, what are we talking about? We promised us to always give us undiluted truths on a weekly basis. That's the promise I gave us, and we have never relented of that promise. That is why the show, the episodes, and the talk show is called Rescued by the Truth, because it's only the truth that will set you free. Only the truth sets free. All right. So let's move further. Tonight, we are talking about being a career mom, being a career mother with toddlers. Being a career mother with toddlers. This topic is very important because I see the way things are going around, especially in this part of the world. We are hearing from Nigeria, especially this part of the world where everyone is a workaholic. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone is on the go. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. I need to make some money. I need to do this, especially for the mothers. Nobody says it's bad. No, it's not bad. But let's talk about it tonight. So let's go into it proper. Now, career is your profession, right? Career is your profession, what you do. It's beyond talking about being a medical doctor or a lawyer. No, career is beyond that. Career is whatever it is you do that gives you fulfillment. That's your career. And toddlers are children between the ages of 1 to 6 years. They are toddlers. So if you have a child who falls between the age of 1 to 6 years, or a baby, we are talking about you tonight. So you see why you have to listen attentively. Okay. Now, what are the roles of mothers in the home? Roles of mothers in the home. We are going to start with that. Roles of mother in the home. I wrote down a few points here that will guide me because I do not want to be carried away with some things. I really want to hit the nail on the head so that we actually get the main thing that made us want to talk about this tonight. The roles of mothers in the house. Number one, the mothers build the house. If you are a woman and you are a mother, know you are a home builder. You build the house. That is your major responsibility. Your major responsibility is to build your house. Now, how do you do that? I will take a bearing. I'm not going to all sound religious or all of that, no, or sound churchy, but I'll take a bearing. Remember, the topic, the show is Rescued by the Truth. And the truth is the only thing that can set you free. Okay, I'll take a bearing from Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 from verse 27. Proverbs 31 from verse 27, it says, she looks well to the way of her household. She looks well to the ways of her household. A virtuous woman looks well to the ways of her household. She is a home builder. The same Proverbs 16 verse 1. A wise woman builds her house. A wise woman builds her house. Let's go to the topic proper. A wise woman. Meaning, if you are not building your house, you are unwise. I didn't say that. I'm not the one that said that. I am not the one that wrote the scriptures. It says, a wise woman builds her house. Now, are you building your house or someone else is building it for you? Are you building your house or someone else is building it for you? I was in a little form of argument or conversation with someone about I think 30 minutes before I came online here. 30 minutes before I came online, someone was talking about okay, someone raised the post, made a post. A friend of mine made a post and said that the women that are staying at home, that don't actually go to the traditional work, the traditional work that you have to go to the office and stay from 7 to 7 p.m., 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or sometimes 8 p.m. and all of that. That those women that stay at home, that their husbands are supposed to pay them. Then he went further to say that, are you aware that taking care of children is a full-time job? People started arguing and all of that and all of that. Some were for the motion, some were against the motion. Then the comment that actually got me my attention, that got me replying, the lady said, I can never be an idle mother, that I must work, and she must go out 7 a.m. and return 8 p.m. Then I dropped a comment under that and I asked her, so who is going to raise your children for you? I asked her, who is going to raise your children for you? Your husband is out there also. He leaves 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and he returns 7 p.m., 8 p.m., sometimes 9 p.m. Both of you leave 6 a.m. and return 7 p.m. Who is going to raise your children for you? Who is going to build your home for you? Who? Until you can answer that honest question, you haven't started as a mother. Until you can answer that honest question, you haven't started. She even went further and said, let me enjoy my single life now. Now that I'm single, let me enjoy my life now. I am not ready for that marriage. Wow. Okay, that explains why we have children with ill habits. That explains why we have children with ill habits. Now, no one says you shouldn't do your job. No, that's not what I'm saying. No one says you should be idle either. That is not what I'm saying. But what we are saying, remember we say career women with toddlers, you can be a career woman and still raise your children properly and still have maximum attention, pay maximum attention to your children, and you're a career woman. Ask me how. Achieve that. There are many ways to do that. You build your career around your home. Build your career around your home. That is how to do that. Whatever it is you're doing, do it around your home. That's where your creativity begins to come out. Whatever job you're doing, let it be around your home. Whatever business, we talk about career, people think about people that go to the office. There are people that that go for their businesses around 7 a.m. and they return 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. as the case may be. They still fall under this category of people I'm talking about. No one says you shouldn't do your business. No one says you shouldn't work. But can you do it within your home? Can you do it around your home? Now, let's look at this critically. Your husband goes out. He leaves as early. There's some men that leave as early as 6. The people living in Lagos State, they understand what I'm talking about. If you must meet up at your work area, be it business, be it career, whatever it is, you must leave the house as early as 5 a.m. And those men, they return as late as 8 p.m. Some 9, some 10. If you're the one that go to the island, some return as late as 11 p.m. Now imagine the woman also, she goes to her own job. She leaves 5 a.m. and she returns as late as 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. What do you think will become of the children? Have you asked yourself that honest question? We're talking about rescue by the truth. We are going to set you free by telling you the plain truth. Have you asked yourself that honest question? Who will raise your kids? Are you leaving it for your house help? Your house help is going to raise your kids for you. Some of them I've discussed with some of them. They say, I have someone at home. I have someone taking good care of my children. I have good hands. I left them in good hands. The good hands are taking care of my children. Thank you. Thank you. They will do your children with good hands. They are going to raise your children with good hands. I think it's the help that you come back and you shout at that never does anything right. Right? This is the one that comes back that never does anything right. That is the one that will raise your children. That your children, they are in good hands. Now, even your mother, I've come across cases, people that say, I'm leaving my children with my mother. I am going to hustle, I'm a woman. I'm an independent woman, Nobody says you should not be independent. Don't get me wrong. Nobody says you should not be independent. But can your independence be within your home for now until your children come of age? I'm not saying you are never going to go out, but until your children come of age. There's a certain age they will get to. You can go anywhere you want to go to. What is that age? Let them be in high school. At least they are done with their nursery, primary. Let them be in high school. High school is secondary school. Let them enter secondary school. Then you can go out and do whatever you want to do. Then you have given them the foundation. Remember, if the foundation be destroyed, what can your children do? If they don't get the right foundation, if they don't get the appropriate foundation, what can they do? That is why the society has lots of children that are vagabonds, lots of children that are roaming the streets here and there, causing terror, terrorizing. And let's bring it back home. You remember the Chrisland case of last year? I think it was last year. Yes, last year. Remember the Chrisland case last year? The one that broke the internet. Did you hear the mother talk? Did you hear? Did you hear what the mother said? The mother did not know the child does that, and she does that right under her roof because she was never around. She was never around. She was never around. The child does whatever it is she was doing on the internet under her roof. She was not aware. She doesn't even know her child owns a ring light. She doesn't even know her child was on Twitter or whatever. I've forgotten the social media app she was doing all those things on. She wasn't aware. Why? Because she was a career woman who does her job 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. She doesn't know what is going on at home. The children are in the hands of the house help. And the house help will go ahead doing her job because they are not really her children. So her concern is her job. The child can do whatever the child wants to do. It's not her business. Do you understand the point now? Now, I'm going to share a very sad story. It's part of the reason why I decided to talk about this. I'm going to share a very sad story. The story still pains me. It really broke my heart when I heard that story. It broke my heart when I heard that story. The story grieves me. I know of a friend of mine here in Port Harcourt. I'm talking from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, River State. I have a friend of mine here in Port Harcourt. And she works in a company. And she lives, I think she says she lives past 6, like 6 a.m. past 6, thereabout. She has to report in her office 7 a.m. They have to do the thumb printing and all of that to show that you are around 7 a.m. And she returns 7 p.m. So she has a baby. She had a baby. And after 3 months, the way we do it here traditionally, after 3 months, you have to resume your job. After 3 months, you resume your job. So your time with your baby has to be 3 months. Then you resume your job, your normal job. You leave 6 a.m., return 7 p.m. with a baby. Yeah, with a baby. But the story is that she lost that baby. That's the sad story. She lost that baby in the hands of the house help. The house help mistakenly gave that baby something. I don't know. I can't remember the way the story went. So mistakenly gave that baby something. They rushed the baby to the hospital. The baby could not make it. She couldn't make it. She died. She lost her baby. And that was the only child she had then. and she hasn't even had another child. She has not had another child. It's a sad story. And then they're talking about complications in her womb and all of that. So it's a sad story. See how she lost her job because of her work. She has a career. She has to be there 6 a.m. and she will return 7 p.m. And she has a baby. Okay, I was once working in a place, a beautiful place, a beautiful place, beautiful place, beautiful pay, powerful pay, They were paying me well. I just got married. Then I just got married, newly married. I got married in 2014. So I was newly married, and I got that job almost after I got married here in Port Harcourt. So I was working. I usually leave 6:30 a.m. and I return, and sometimes I return 6, as the case may be, depending on the nature of the work at hand there. So later I had a baby, my very first son. I had my very first son. And I was given 3 months, the 3 months leave, the usual 3 months leave they give to every woman that just had a baby here in Nigeria. So I was given 3 months leave. And after the 3 months leave, I was considering how I was going to work with my son. I have to resume work. I leave 6:30 and I return sometimes 7 p.m. So I agreed with my husband. I have to get a help. I have to get someone that will watch my baby for me. So I left her at home. I got someone from Akwa Ibom. I left my baby with her. Then my baby was 3 months old. I left her. Then I continued with my job. Then sometimes in the office, I'll be uncomfortable. Something was telling me, are you sure your baby is fine? Are you sure that girl is taking care of your baby well? All of that. And sometimes during break period, I'll run out of the office, rush down home just to check on my son, and I'll come back. Then my colleagues told me something. Told me, hello, ma'am, can you get a camera and put in your house, a spy camera, and put in your house so that you see how your son is doing? Because of the nature of your job, you leave 6:30, you come back late. Find out what that girl is doing with your son. Okay, so I agreed. I went on Jumia. I bought a spy camera. The camera was like an alarm clock. So I came back home. I was excited. I told them, "Oh, I got alarm clock. Oh, it will help us to be waking up early, went to pray, and all of that." I stylishly kept it beside the TV, so she thought it was an alarm clock. So I put it on anytime I want to go out. I put it on. And when I come back, I bring out the memory card, put it in my laptop, and I watch what happened for the day. So the very first day I came back after installing that spy camera, I got back. You will not believe it. I found out that once I go out, she goes out also. What she does is, once I leave, she bathes my son, she bathes herself quickly. She takes him out, they go out. And the whole thing, my whole house will be just like that until 4 p.m. She returns. 4 p.m. she returns. 4 p.m. she returns. So it went on. That's my baby. So it continued like that. I didn't talk the first time I noticed it because I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to be sure it's something that happens regularly. I wanted to be sure before I know how to approach her. Okay? Day 2, the same thing. Day 3, the same thing. So I couldn't hold it anymore. I don't want to wait for 1 week. My son? No, I didn't want to wait for 1 week. So I confronted her. I called her. My dear, where do you usually go immediately I leave the house? She was looking at me. She was looking at me like, what are you saying? I don't go anywhere. I said, are you trying to lie to me? I called her again. Where do you go every time I leave? She denied it. Okay, I have to play it for her. I played it for her. She just opened her mouth. She couldn't talk. She couldn't talk again. I said, where do you go? She didn't answer me. I had to go out and start asking, making inquiry before people told me that immediately I leave, that she also beats my child and dumps him in a particular shop and she goes her way. She doesn't leave food for him. She doesn't leave diaper. She doesn't leave nothing. She leaves nothing with him. She goes. You can imagine the trauma. Because every time I come back, I find out that my child doesn't look, because when I'm done feeding him, his stomach bulges, I find out every time I come back, his stomach is usually flat and he's always crying and all of that. So I kept asking her, are you telling me you don't feed my son? So what happens to the milk I usually leave? Because I come back, I find out the milk is somehow used. So is it that maybe she throws it away? I cannot tell. So you can imagine. You can imagine. Ha. So I started adjusting my stay there, plus some things that happened. I had to resign. I said, oh no, I can't work again. Sorry. My child comes first. I know the kind of child I want to raise. I cannot, because of job, because of how much I'm being paid, and jeopardize the future of my child. I will not. I can't place the two side by side, no matter how much. And we needed that money then. We needed that money then because my husband wasn't doing well. So you need to understand the fix I was in. Because some people will say, we need to support my husband. My husband was not doing well. I had to quit for the sake of my son, which is more important to me. I quitted. As God will have it, me, I quitted. Heavens opened for my husband. He started having breakthroughs, contracts, and all of that. But I was never idle. I had a business I was running, but I started that business when my son started school, when we enrolled him in school. I started that business. I will go there once I've dropped him off in school. He closes 1 p.m. 12:30, I have left the shop. I'm running down to get my son. I never stayed 7 to 9 p.m. No. I'm leaving the shop, and I left my girl there to stay in the shop. But some cases, you can't just work and have a business and leave someone there. Some cases started happening. I had to shut down the shop. And I said, the shop, no, this is not more important to me. You're not going to come and be confusing me or distracting me. No. I shut it down for the sake of my son. Before I knew it, I conceived again. Because I just got married. Meaning conception will continually happen. Conception will continually happen. It's not something you're going to say, we are going to rush to get a job. And there's no such job here that you're going to work 6 to 12. There's no such job here. There's no such job here that you're going to work. So that is why you have to build your career around your home. Do you understand that? There's no such job that you're going to go and tell them, I am going back home. My children are coming back 1 p.m. My children will be back 2 p.m. I am going home. Bye-bye, boss. As you're saying bye, they'll sack you. So there's no such job. So why not build your career? There are many things you can do. Right now, I write. Right now, I proofread and people pay me. They pay me in my house. I go for jobs outside. I rush, go. Before 1, I'm back. Maximum 3, 4. No matter, depending on the nature of the job, I'm back. Why? Because of my children. I must be there with them. I must be there when they start their homework. I must ask questions. How their day went. How did your day? I want to be part of every single thing that has to do with their life. It's more important to me than the money I'm going to make. I need to be part of their life. I need to know when they start changing. I need to be there to caution them. Do you understand that? You can't miss every part of your children's life because you're chasing a particular thing. You're chasing money. Your husband is chasing money. You are chasing money. Wow. What's going to happen to your children? Your husband is on the go. You are on the go. And you have small children. You have a baby. You have a child of 1 year. You have a child of 2 years, from 1 to 6. You have small children. Who is going to raise them for you? Who? I wrote on something here. I don't want to miss out what I wrote. You raise your kids. How do you raise your kids? You are the one to teach them how to pray. Is it your house that will teach them how to pray? You teach them how to pray. You teach them to read. You teach them to study. You're the one to do that. Your house help. Some of the people we bring home as house help, they can't even read themselves. They're not even doing well academically. Is that what you want to impart on your children? So you have to do it yourself. Your husband is already on the go, so you have to do that yourself. Again, I wrote down their character. You are the one to mold their character. Remember, we say a wise woman builds her house. You are the one to mold their character. You are the one to tell them what to do. You see, many a times we see cases of we see children that are misbehaving, they are wayward and all of that. And some people will say, oh, and they come from a very good family. Oh, and their mother is nice, their mother is this, and their father is this. If you look inside, you find out that the parents never had time for the children. I've had close cases I've discussed with. Their parents never, people have confided in me. Children confide in me. Their parents don't have time for them because they are chasing Benjamin. They're chasing the money. Mommy is not there. Daddy is not there. No one is there for them. I've seen children, most of the children that you see that they abuse and all of that, rape and all of that. Check well. Look inside. Their mother was never there. Their mother was never there, except for the ones that they do in school. But even if it's at school, if the mom is the one that pays attention to the children, you will find out if there's any changes in your child. You will know. But if you go very early, you come back 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you're already tired. Probably your children have slept, just like me then. I'm leaving, my child is asleep. When I return, my child is asleep. There are sometimes he never sees me until Saturday. Monday to Friday, I never see my child eyeball to eyeball until Saturday. You can imagine the kind of mother, very bad mother. Monday to Friday, I never see my child. He never sees me until Saturday and Sunday. And he said that is good because I'm chasing money. You can build your business. I know people that do their businesses around. They do their businesses around. Thank God for social media. You can do your business and project it on social media. People will buy. Use dispatch riders and deliver it. You can still own a shop within your house. You go to your shop, do whatever you want to do, sell, do everything. When your children comes back, you go back home. So you see how you can still do those things you love doing. You do it. Thank God for internet now, Seth. Are you aware you can work online? I have jobs I've done online. Are you aware you can work online? There are jobs you can apply for that are in the US. You can do them online. I work online because I want to have time for my children. You think I don't want to go to the office and you think I don't want to drop my CVs in PP companies? I want to do that, but not now. Let them come of age. Then I'll do that. I'll share a story with you. An aunt of my husband's aunt that is in America. We got talking, I think last month. Yeah, last month. We got talking last month, So she started telling me her story. She's of age, she's not a young woman. She's middle-aged. We got talking, so she told me all the shooting. I think that was when the story of a particular child that went to a particular school and was on the shooting spree. He went, shot plenty people, shot the teachers and all of that. They couldn't jail him. They said he was underage and all of that. They put him in a center, whatever. So they said that the Americans, they started discussing, what is this thing? This thing is becoming too much. That children just go about, they misbehave, ill-mannered, they do drugs and all of that. They started doing research and they found out that those children are the ones that their mothers or their fathers never had time for. when they were growing up, never paid attention to when they were growing up. So they said, what are they going to do about this? So they now, I think it's a law. I heard someone saying it's a law right now that both parents that have small younger children can't work. Before they employ you, both of you, you husband and wife will sit down and discuss and decide who goes to work and who stays with the children. Yes, that is how it is now. You decide who goes to work and who stays with the children. So if the husband is the one that earns more, he goes to work, the wife stays with the children. If the wife is the one that earns more, the wife goes to work, the husband stays with the children. They said they need to inculcate new good manners in the children. I was telling you about my husband's aunt that is abroad. She said she got married here in Nigeria many years ago, I think 30 something years ago. The husband was already in America. He was already a citizen there. So he relocated her to join him. So he joined them. Immediately she got there. So she has heard many stories, about America. And then the person going for America the first time, she has already said, she's going to work. She'll do this thing. She'll earn how much money per hour. This is her. Before the end of the month, she has made millions. You know those kind of enthusiasm and excitement that people have when they are traveling. So immediately she got to the husband's house. The husband sat her down and said, sweetheart, please, there's something you need to do for me. I don't want America to raise my children. I'm saying exactly as the exact words she told me. I don't want America to train my children. A lot of children here are misbehaving. I don't want my children to misbehave. You do me a favor. That thing you say you want to do, you hold on first. You hold on. Please train my children for me. When they are of age, you can go ahead with your career. She was mad. She was mad. She was angry that this man has shattered her plans. This man has shattered her plans. Me that said I want to make money. Me that said this. But later she had to obey the husband. She sat down at home and she had her children back to back to back. She had 3 children in 3 years. You can imagine the stress. 3 children in 3 years. I know abroad now, to get house help is not that easy. you know the kind of work you are doing to have a house help. You know the kind of job you are doing to have a house help. You understand? So you really need to, you have to be rich before you can. It's not here that it's just anyhow you have house help. Everybody, before you cough self, house help have come. It's not like that there. You pay heavily, you pay them heavily. So people don't even have, they do the jobs themselves. So you can imagine having 3 kids in 3 years, the stress and all of that. Imagine the stress. So she went through that stress. She trained her children. Now she said when her children started school, that the teachers always commend her children, that her children are the only ones that are well-mannered. I'm telling you her exact words, that her children were the only children well-mannered, that the other children are the ones that are always shouting at, do like this, no, I can't do this. Say her children were well-mannered, to the extent that the white people came to her and asked her, ma'am, how did you raise these children? She became a project topic. How did you raise these children? She told me the story that they came, that it was from her they learned a lot of things, and they went back and told the parents what to do to train their children, that the teachers are not the ones to train their children for them. That there's what is called home training, not school training. I think you have heard home training before. Home training, who do you think will do the home training for you? You think it's a kaite? You think it's your house help? Home training is for the parents. If the husband is busy, the wife should do the home training. It's called home. School cannot train. School does not train. School imparts knowledge, educates your children. School doesn't train. There are 2 different things. Education, training. Education, school. Training, home. Did you get that? I need you to understand that there are 2 different things. Training and education. So they kept coming to her. Teach us, how do you do? What did you know from her? Lots of families were liberated. She told me the story. I think she said the thing came out on news or something like that. Lots of her families, through her, lots of families were liberated. The husbands and wife, they started sitting down. The couple started sitting down together, discussing who goes and who stays. That's how they did it. Who goes and who stays. Before you know it, sanity started returning. Although there are still families that still, but the ones that have already, their parents have already left them. They are the ones that are now haywire. They are the ones now terrorizing everywhere. And it's the same thing here. It's the same thing here. If you take time to look at the children that are causing havoc everywhere. Take your time to look. Bring your eyes down. You find out that the mother was never there. She may be in the house, but she's the type that goes out and returns very late. Are you aware that if you are doing a banking job and you have a baby, it is wrong? WRONG in capitals. It is wrong. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. It is wrong. Who will raise? Because bankers, they leave as early as 6 and they return. Some of them return 9. I know of the one that returns 9 and they have babies. Who is going to raise them for you? You say you have a house help taking care of your children. Oh God Almighty. Your house help taking care of your children. Where is it written the house help should raise your children for you? Where is it written? That house said, how is her character? How is her character? What is her relationship? Do you know the way he or she treats your child? Do you know? So it's about time we sat back and we thought about this. It's about time we saw. Now, some of us will say, I'm bringing my mother. Okay, that's a good option. That's beautiful. If you have your mother is still alive, you can keep your mom. But there's a clause there. If your mother is the type that allows the children to do anything they wish, then it is wrong. It's also as good as leaving them with nobody. I'll give you examples. Now, I have a very good mother-in-law. I'm a very practical person. I have a very good mother-in-law. When I mean, I don't think anybody has the kind of mother-in-law I have. She's the nicest person I've ever known. She doesn't get angry. Everything goes. And children like to be around that. Children, they like where they are not restrained. They like where nobody talks to them. They like easygoing lives. That's the kind of life children like. So my mother-in-law gives children anything they like, beyond even what they're asking for. She doesn't want to see anybody cry. Oh no, give him. He's crying for this. You must give to him. He has had that 10 times. Give it to him again. He wants to go somewhere he shouldn't go to. Allow him to go. I mean, he's a child. Allow him to go. Is that the way you want to raise your children? So you see why I said it should even have a clause. So if your mother that you want to bring is that type, that anything goes, I'm sorry, you're on the wrong track. If your mother is that type, anything goes. You know the way grandmoms. Oh, grandma, your children will be running. Grandma. Your children is doing one thing. Grandma does not care. The grandma, do what you are doing. Your children are watching anything. Grandma does not care. Your children, they are going where you never ask them to go. Grandma does not care because grandma loves children. Grandma wants to do the children good. Is that what you want? Nigeria has happened to me. Is that what you want? Is that the thing you said you want? Is that what you want? Tell me. Is that the kind of children you want to raise? Okay, so think about it. Think about it. If your mom is a disciplinarian, that's fine. That's fine. The mom, there's some moms that are disciplinarians, you understand? The ones that can caution the children. Tell them, if that's the kind of mom you have, that's fine. You can bring her in and go ahead with your career. You can bring her in and go ahead with your career if that's the kind of mom you have. But if your mom is the other one that allows children to do anything you want, that's a no-no. But if your mom is not even available, sorry, you have to be available for your children. You have to be available for your children. Did you get that? So If you have questions, drop me your questions. I will answer your questions. If you have comments, if you have suggestions also, drop them. We will talk about them. We'll answer all of them. So you see that you can actually have your career and still pay attention to your children. But all you need to do is to build your career around your home, within your home, where you can still pay attention to your children. That's the only way. Until they come of age, probably they've gone to high school or they've entered what's it called, secondary school. Then you are free. Go ahead. Then you've imparted the knowledge you need to impart in them. They are free. They are free birds. You've done the foundation, because the foundation is key. Foundation is key to everything. Drop your questions, drop your comments. I'll still come back and check. Before I go, I want to be sure I said everything that I wanted to say tonight. Yes, I think I've said everything I wanted to say tonight. So drop your comments, drop your questions right in the comment section. And please do me a favor, like and subscribe to my channel. We have this coming every week. Stay blessed until I come your way again. Same time next week. Bye.